Good evening, everyone. This is Dale Keter, and I'm back on Twitch to play more Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. I've been playing through this game for the past few weeks now, and currently I am in the finale of Chapter 2. Last time I attempted to finish Chapter 2, but I had to cut the stream short because I had something to do in real life. And I guess it's time for me to get back to it. So as you can see, I basically finished the boss fight, killed everyone very quickly. And all that's left is to teleport back to Aaron again and let him know that Arabeth betrayed us. Yes, Arabeth Chan betrayed us. So there's just one more thing left to do before that. Oh, I forgot about that golem. Okay, you can kill that yourself. Can I acid arrow it? Okay, it's not immune to magic. So while he's killing that, I'm gonna disarm traps. There are no traps. And then I'm gonna cast knock. Nothing is locked. That was anticlimactic. So here we have Mogrim's journal. This small book is filled sparsely with notes in Mogrim's now familiar scrawl. Several entries are of particular interest. The tower is ours. That overambitious fool Arklam trusted me far too much. I would gladly have ended his undead existence had his demon witch not sent him away so quickly. Well, he'll not have use of her advice any longer, I have seen to that. Morag is displeased with me, however. So far the wizards I have sent forth from the tower have found only one of the words of power. She needs them all. We shall have the one in Neverwinter soon, and once the last three are located, all shall be as Morag wished. I remain confident of success. The plague ravages Neverwinter just as Morag foretold. With each death by wailing, she grows stronger. Already she is able to appear in corporeal form, and with the coming war she shall become even stronger still. I have received word that the old fool Nasher has been successful in stopping the plague, having acquired some help from adventurers. No matter, the deed is already done. Neverwinter is weakened, and what strength it has lost Morag has gained. Morag says that Nasher's execution of the fool Fentek will only serve us. Soon his greatest champion shall be ours instead. Dun dun dun. The High Captains decimate each other daily, just as I suspected. I care not whether any of the fools actually succeed. Better is they all die, for none of them will leave the army as I promised them. Morag's nightly visits to Arabeth have had the desired effect. The former paladin has come and lain herself willingly at our feet. She shall lead the great host herself as Morag's champion. The words will be ours, and Morag shall triumph. Glorious shall be the day. Yep. And what's this? It's a chest. With a heavy cross... Oh, I have no inventory space. Holy carp. I need to actually load something into my bag of holding. Where's my bag of holding? Here it is. This is a bit embarrassing. Okay, I don't need this. I don't need that. So let's just put this here. Okay, now I should be able to fit the heavy crossbow. And with that, I can go back to Aaron. But before that, let's sell off our junk first. That's wine, I don't need that. I'm not sure if I still need this. I guess that's useful, so I have a ranged attack by default. Black Forest Staff, what does that do? Vampiric Regeneration +1. Yeah, no. I don't really need that. We can just sell all of these. So I need to find a fence to sell this to. There should be... I'm not sure if there's one in the city. Rod of Reversal. I'll just keep that, just in case. I will probably keep that. Sell this. Control Undead, not very useful. Not very useful. Totally not useful. I have True Seeing, I don't need that. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Definitely don't need that. I already can cast that myself. I guess I'll sell this extra one. Ice Talon, let's say cold. Oh heck, I accidentally put it down. Let's grab that.
Hello to you.
Okay, sell. I don't really need that. Sell, sell. Oh, I should probably sell these books that I got. I guess there isn't really much left to sell. Don't need that. I might need this. Don't need that. This might come in handy. This might come in handy. Not really. Might come in handy. Maybe, maybe, nope, nope. I already have haste for me and my companion, so I don't need that. Let's stack these. Sell. Okay, that should be everything. Well, that too. I need to sell that. Alright, let's talk to Aaron.
We are fortunate that you have found the location of this cult, hiding amongst the wizards of Luskan's host tower. It is not clear how they possess so much power and stealth.
I have discovered all I can about the cult in the host tower.
Well done, my friend. I knew Lord Nash's faith in you was well justified. Come then, tell me what you have learned.
Arabeth-chan betrayed us, senpai.
I see. This enemy is far more elusive than I suspected even. For the name of this Mogram is unfamiliar to me. As is this creature you describe as his mistress.
Ha! Mogram, Aaron senpai didn't notice you until now.
But Lady Arabeth has fallen to become a blackguard, and even leads their gathering.
It's blackguard, not blackguard.
It's far worse than anything I had feared. Dire, dire news indeed. But what of this Mogram's purpose, my friend? Were you able to discover anything of the reasoning behind all this madness?
Yep, we're gonna tell them about the words of power.
This is perhaps the first good news I have heard so far. It shows us that we are ignorant of much, and must catch up quickly if we are to survive. But at least you have brought us hope. Come then, let us return to Lord Nasher quickly, and relate what you have discovered. Then perhaps we will see what must be done next.
Alright, Chapter 3.
Within the host tower of the Arcane, the enemy was finally revealed. Mogrim Korothir, madman, prophet, the one responsible for the Wailing Death. And with this revelation, a second betrayal. Arabeth, driven mad by her lover's execution, sought vengeance by joining Mogrim's cause. Together, they roused a fearsome army and prepared to descend upon Neverwinter. But an even greater evil threatened the city. The words of power, remnants of ancient magic long forgotten, were being sought by Mogrim's followers to bring devastation to the north. Neverwinter's champions were sent to the northern wastes of the Uthgardt tribes to unearth these lost artifacts. For if Mogrim were to find the words of power first, the city of the north would surely fall.
Alright, now we're in Birun as well.
This has become something of a habit, has it not? Once more, Neverwinter is threatened, and once more you are called upon to save us all. Yet this time you will be reporting directly to me. With Arabeth's defection, Lord Nasher has elevated me from the role of spymaster to that of his right hand. To be honest, I much prefer to stay in the shadows. Yet Neverwinter has need of me, so I will serve without complaint.
There are worse ways to make a living. Neverwinter pays her servants well.
Neverwinter has need of all her allies now.
Goodness, my throat.
Whether they serve for honor, duty, or gold.
Money for the highest bidder.
I have examined the reconnaissance reports of my operatives in the field, and the situation is grim indeed. The Luskan armies are marching against Neverwinter with Arabeth at their head, ravaging the land as they pass and leaving only destruction in their wake. Perhaps even more troubling are the reports of orcs and some of the Uthgardt tribes joining Arabeth and the Luskan army to pillage and plunder.
Is there no one who comes to the defense of Neverwinter?
The Lord's alliance has come to our aid. Without them, our plague-weakened city would already have come under siege. And several of the Uthgardt stand with us. The Red Tiger and Black Lion tribes have made camp with us here at Biaruna's Well.
Hold on.
And Uthgardt holy site.
He just said the black. The text says the Black Lion tribe, but he definitely said the Red Tiger and Black Lion, as in Dale and Red Tiger's people. I suspect that is a relic of when, I guess, this game was more fleshed out. Maybe there was a confrontation between the Red Tigers and Dalen, but I guess it got removed later on in development, but they didn't have time to change his voiceover.
But Erebeth and the Luskan army are best left to the generals in the field. You have a much more important mission.
I can't believe Erebeth betrayed Neverwinter.
Perhaps had we been more observant, Erebeth's betrayal would not have been such a surprise. She was never the same after Fenthic's execution. She abandoned us. But part of me wonders if we did not first turn our backs on her suffering. But hindsight serves no purpose now. Erebeth has vowed revenge against Neverwinter. The pain of her loss makes her blind to anything else. It is up to us to see she does not get the revenge she seeks.
Have your spies learned anything of Malgrim?
The few reports I have heard of Malgrim indicate he is not with the Luskan army. It seems he is content to leave the battles to Erebeth. I believe Erebeth and the Luskan invaders are but a decoy, a distraction to draw our troops and resources away from the true threat.
Decoy?
It has not been easy to gather information on Malgrim's cult, but we know they are frantically searching for the ancient artifacts known as the Words of Power. Though we do not yet know what these words are, or why Malgrim desires them, we know there are at least 3 of these artifacts. We must not let them fall into the hands of the cult. You must find these ancient words before Malgrim does. If you do not, then I fear any victory by the Lord's Alliance will prove meaningless.
Any idea where I should be looking for the Words of Power?
There are reports of Malgrim's followers searching throughout the land. The hills and mountains to the north, the forests to the west, even the sprawling farmlands to the south. I wish I had more guidance for you. Perhaps you can learn more from Lillian Cambridge, an expert on ancient artifacts who claims to have some knowledge of the Words of Power. Lillian has promised to offer whatever help she can to any of my agents in this matter. You could probably find her in the tavern in the southeast corner of the camp.
Southeast corner of the camp tavern.
This may seem an impossible task.
Goodness.
But I can think of no other person I would rather have undertaking this mission than you.
And what should I do? And what should I do once I find these Words of Power?
If you find one of the words, bring it back to me here. My underground network will transport it to the safety of Lord Nasher's castle.
Anything else?
I regret there is nothing more I can tell you. Even the little information I have already given came at great cost. Many of my best men and women gave their lives for it.
Where could I get some supplies?
This camp has been set up to serve as a base for both the war effort and those searching for the Words of Power. In the various buildings, you will find whatever type of store you require.
I'll be going now.
I wish you luck in your mission. The very survival of Neverwinter may depend on it.
Okay, so our 6 companions are here, and as with the other 2 chapters, I'm going to talk to them and try to exhaust as many of their dialogue options as possible to progress their companion quests. Let's go left to right, starting with Tommy Undergallows.
Nice to see you again. That cheerful looking fellow brought you here too, huh? Looking for some Words of Power or something?
It is good to see you again, Tommy. I was going to take a long hike and look around for my old friend Sammy. I bet he's around here somewheres. But somehow I knew we'd bump into each other again soon. Well, to make this story short, I kind of was caught doing something I shouldn't when I was somewhere I shouldn't. Well, to make the story short, I kind of was caught doing something I shouldn't when I was somewhere I shouldn't have been. So Mr. Gen said I had to come and help here or else. Figures that you'd be here too, my lord, with you being a great hero and all. But you didn't have to come like I did either. Do you know anything about the Words of Power, Tommy? Me? Heck no. You might want to trot off to the Coldwood and check it out, though. Why? Well, there's always tales of strange things out in those woods. I passed through more than a month back, and I remember seeing some ruins off the path. My guide said they belonged to some wealthy mage who locked herself away in there long ago, and that she used to collect a lot of strange things, so who knows? Old acquaintance of mine is in that area too, named Savage. I wouldn't trust him further than I could throw him, which ain't far, but he knows the Coldwood well. I would be honored to have you join up with me again, Tommy. Okie dokie, my lord. Alright, it's story time.
Eh? What can Tommy do for you?
I just want to talk. Oh, what did you have in mind, my lord? Have you always been a rogue, Tommy? Funny you should ask that, my lord. I was an urchin on the streets of Calumport, first and foremost, and that's where I learned me street smarts. But it wasn't always that way. In fact, when I was a tender young lad, a kindly human wizard saw great promise in me and took me in. I was his apprentice, in fact, for quite some time. That's where I met my best friend, Sammy, after all. He was another apprentice. I would have been a full wizard myself if things had worked out. What went wrong? Well, you know, you can take the lad out of the street, but you can't take the street out of the lad. I wasn't much for books and studying and all. That wizard, what was his name? Halasar? He saw something in me that I never saw, said I would make a wizard whether I liked it or not. I thought I would make a wonderful thief if I could be invisible and fly around all the time. I just couldn't wait. Halasar had all these pretty things in his tower, unfortunately. So you stole them? Of course I stole them. What kind of a rogue do you think I am? I got a good price in the streets too. Even Halasar beat me black and blue by the time I returned. Once I swept Halasar's spellbook and sold that for a pretty price. Boy, was the old man furious. There was a storm brewing around his tower by the time I got back. Of course I had to lie and say that Sammy took the book. Come to think of it, that's how Sammy got kicked out of his apprenticeship. You got your friend kicked out? Well, he wasn't much of a wizard, and old Sammy wasn't my friend back then anyway. I made it up to him by becoming his pal later once I stopped being an apprentice. The end of my apprenticeship is quite the story itself. I should tell you that sometime, my lord, if you're interested. That would be later, though. Right now, we got a city to save, right? Click. Let's talk again. I want you to continue your story from before. Maybe later, my lord. Right now, we've got stuff that he's doing, don't we? So, I can probably unlock the first part of their story. So let's go on to Dale and Red Tiger.
Greetings and well met. It is good to look upon you once more. No doubt Aaron Genn has brought you here to aid in the search for the words of power.
It is good to see you again, Dale and Red Tiger. After Arabeth's betrayal, I meant to travel the north in search of the quest to prove myself to my tribe. Yet even as we parted ways, I suspected we would meet once more, Plowshare. And then I heard of Aaron Genn's call for all those who would serve the cause of Neverwinter to join the Lord's Alliance here at Verona's Well, a holy place to the Uthgardt. I thought it might be a sign from my gods. After all you have done for Neverwinter, I knew you would be here, Plowshare. That is why I came, to join with you once more. I feel our fates are bound together. Do you know anything about the words of power, Dalen? I have heard nothing of these words, though recent events concerning the Uthgardt Elk tribe might be worth investigating. How so? The Elk tribe has allied itself with the Luskan forces. As incredible as it sounds, they have attacked 4th Uthgardt and the settlers' farms to the south. I am of the Red Tiger tribe, but there are values and beliefs common to all the Uthgardt people. We are warriors and hunters, not bloodthirsty savages. The Uthgardt are a people of honor. I believe some evil force is at work, a dark taint that has polluted the noble spirit of the Elk tribe. There can be no other explanation for their actions. I only mention the Elk tribe because you asked, Plowshare. If you allow me to join you once more, I will of course follow wherever you choose to go. Very well, then I would be honored to have you join up with me again, Dalen. Then once more my blade is yours to command, Plowshare. Alright, let's talk to him.
Is there something?
Talk. I wouldn't mind knowing your thoughts on Arabeth's betrayal. Why do you think she did it? There are some who claim Arabeth betrayed Neverwinter out of grief. Others say she seeks to avenge Fentik's death out of some perverse sense of justice. There are even those who say she was driven mad by Fentik's execution and is not aware of what she's doing. But I think something else drives her now. What do you think her reason is? Neverwinter turned its back on her. The city rejected her, and its people cast her out. There is no pain so great as being turned away by those you most want to take you in. What are you talking about? They never turned her out. Perhaps not, but Arabeth no doubt felt that they did. That people blamed Fentik enough to kill him. How could she not feel they despised her as well? And then Lord Nasher sent her to Port Last with Aaron Genn. It was obvious Lord Nasher wanted an excuse to send her away from the city. You are absolutely correct. No doubt he thought it best to calm the people and keep Arabeth from suffering their wrath as Fentik had. but in her grief she would have seen it as a cold and brutal rejection, a symbolic banishment. Sounds like you think she was justified. I'm not saying what Arabeth did was right or even justified, but there is a tale among the Uthgardt, an ancient legend of consequences and betrayal. Fenthic's execution and Arabeth's betrayal remind me of a tale of my own people. I only hope Neverwinter does not suffer the same fate as the Uthgardt. What fate would that be? Perhaps later I will tell you the tale, but now is not the time for me to speak of this. We must focus on finding the words of power for Aringen if we are to save Neverwinter. Bodyknock.
Hello, it is I, Bodyknock Glinkle. It is good to see a friendly face in these unfamiliar surroundings.
The rude option is, you again? Am I going to have to get someone to cast Dispel Annoying Little Runt to get rid of you? It is good to see you again, Bodyknock. I have to admit I am not surprised to find you here at Verona as well, Plowshare. Given your previous record of service, it was only logical to conclude that you would be among those recruited by Neverwinter's spymaster to aid his cause. That is partly why I chose to come here, Plowshare. I have found our previous experiences together to be very enlightening. Do you know anything about the words of power, Bodyknock? Question mark. I doubt I can help you there, Plowshare. All I know of this area is limited to the accounts of Lantanese explorers detailing the hills to the north of Verona as well. Tell me about these accounts. As you know, the love of exploration and the thrill of discovery are traits shared by all the people of Lantan. Whenever one of our people visits a foreign land, they make an account of all they experience. These accounts are added to the great library of Lantan so that all our people can be enlightened. A few years ago, a gnome named Herigo Wanderlust returned to my island with his account of this region. The majority of this time was spent exploring the hills to the north of Verona as well, secretly observing the habits and activities of the giants who make their home there. Giants? Oh yes, we have no giants on Lantan, so my people are fascinated by them. Herigo's research is the most detailed account we have had to date of these remarkable creatures. So it's kind of like David Attenborough slash... oh my goodness, my head's drawing a blank. Steve Irwin of Gnomes. The subjects he was studying, hill giants were the exact species, if I remember correctly, had actually chosen a king from among their numbers, and this king had united several bands of giants into a single powerful tribe. They had even constructed a great steading to house the king, and from there they raided the lands to the south. Until Herigo's research, we assumed hill giants to be incapable of such high-level organization. Anything else? Most of Herigo's research was of a scientific nature: diet, mating habits, uwu, activity cycles, habitat, and territory range. Academically compelling, but hardly useful in your mission, I'm afraid. I would love to see these giants before I leave the north, Plowshare, though I know my own wants must be set aside until after the words of power are found. We should join up again, Bodyknock. I would be honored to join up with you once more, Plowshare. Together we can find the words of power and solve the mystery of who was truly behind the Neverwinter plague. Okay,
Is there something you need?
let's ask him about his life. I wouldn't mind knowing your thoughts on Arabeth's betrayal. How do you feel about it? Arabeth's betrayal has caused me no amount of confusion, Plowshare. On the one hand, her actions appear irrational and illogical. She has vowed to destroy the city she spent her life protecting. But on the other hand, isn't it logical to assume a warrior would want to avenge the death of her lover? And what about Fenthic's death, which caused this whole mess? His execution made no sense. He was not an enemy of the city, and had he lived, he would have done everything in his power to help Neverwinter to make up for what he had done. What purpose is there in killing a man who is only going to be your ally in the future? Such irrational behavior is difficult for me to understand, Plowshare. Sometimes people let their emotions rule their actions, and we do foolish things. In Lantan, we bow to the laws of reason and logic. Emotion can never be truly factored out of any decision. But we do our best to look at the facts with a dispassionate eye before taking action. I suppose in that sense we are quite different from many of the other cultures of Faerun. We will have to familiarize ourselves with these strange lands if we hope to integrate Lantan into mainland society. Integrate? What are you talking about? Lantan is an island. By geography, we are isolated from the rest of the world. Over the centuries, this has led to an insular culture, particularly among my people, the gnomes. We consider ourselves safely removed from the troubles of the mainland. We have been fascinated observers of the history of Faerun, as befits our analytical mindset. but we choose not to be active participants in events. Recently, however, our culture has embarked upon a radical journey of change, a revolutionary shift in our entire belief system. Soon, perhaps even in my own lifetime, Lantan will become an important part of life in the realms. What are you talking about? Some kind of invasion? We are thinkers, inventors, and academics, Plowshare, not soldiers. We plan to bring our culture and beliefs to Faerun through peaceful means, though we are proceeding in a rational and logical fashion. Before we attempt to introduce ourselves into the existing order, we must study and analyze the current political and cultural realities in an organized and thorough fashion. Could you expect anything less, given our nature? Why the sudden change in ideology? As you can imagine, a revolution of this magnitude must be precipitated by an astonishing event, the time of troubles. Without a significant catalyst, there cannot be a significant reaction. Again, the time of troubles. In our case, the catalyst is a single wondrous event, the day the god Gaunt Wanderbringer washed up on the shores of Lantan in mortal form. Yep, you're referring to the time of troubles, aren't you? You are right, Plowshare. I am speaking of the time of troubles when D&D switched from 1st edition to 2nd edition, when the gods were forced to take mortal form and walk among us. I would share the tale with you, but the story of Gaunt Wanderbringer's time on Lantan is a long one, Plowshare. Perhaps I will speak more of this later, but now is not the time. Okay, this is basically similar to what the rest of them say. We need to focus on our mission. We have to get these words of power back to Aaron Gen. Okay, so Logic Gnome is done, so now we're going to talk to Murder
The
Dwarf.
fires of war are burning on the horizon. Why am I not surprised
On the
to see
horizon.
you here
Missing
to
a word.
forge your blood-drenched legacy in the furnace of slaughter?
Ah yes, it's good to see you again, Grim Joe Jaggerjack. Grim, no? There are not many others who claim it is good to see the members of my order, Plowshare, but you and I are of the same ilk. We do not shy from death and killing. When I heard Aaron Gen was recruiting mercenaries to his cause, I knew you would come, Plowshare, just as I did. Our fates appear once more to be bound together. Arabeth's betrayal has stoked the fires of war, and I am eager to see the killing begin. If we are lucky, this war will engulf the entire region. Do you know anything about the words of power, Grimno? I have not heard anything of these words, Plowshare, though I once lived with my clan in the mountains to the north. You used to live in this region? Long ago, my dwarf clan dwelt in the Dragon Mountains, though when Bruenor Battlehammer reclaimed Mithril Hall, we left to join the others of our kind who flocked to his banner. At night, great worms could often be seen soaring over the moonlit skies. There were many legends of the hordes these winged serpents guarded, and many rumors of the mighty artifacts that could be found within. I do not specifically recall mention of the words of power, but I can only assume such a powerful item would likely be found in the dragon's lair. You are correct, but the dragon is not on Faerun. It's in a pocket plane inside a snow globe. If you wish, Plowshare, I will gladly join with you to seek out these words of power. I have no doubt our partnership would result in a scourge of death throughout the land. Okay, we should join up again, Grimno. Together we shall bring forth a blood of death to drown the north, Plowshare. How cheery.
Is there something you need?
I just want to talk for a while. Conversation is one way to pass the time until the Silent Lord comes to claim us. What do you wish to speak about? I wouldn't mind knowing your thoughts on Arabeth's betrayal. How do you feel about it? I have mixed feelings about the Paladin's actions. They say she was driven to her betrayal by the execution of her lover, and she could not accept his death, and it drove her mad with grief and a desire for revenge. As a member of the Order of the Long Death, her reaction to an inevitable event seems rather childish. The Silent Lord comes for us all. We might as well learn to accept it. Accepting death is one thing. Having your lover hung right in front of you is something else. Would she have felt better had her lover had his entrails removed by a hungry troll, or had his limbs ripped from their sockets by an angry giant? Attack on Titan. Or perhaps she would have been less angry had a slow-acting poison drawn him into a sleep from which he would never awaken. Death is death, Plowshare. My order seeks to help the world understand this. So you disapprove of what she has done. The motives for her actions seem foolish to me, but the results are pleasing. She has brought war to the north. Thousands will die, painful shrieking deaths beneath the blades she has unleashed. The Silent Lord is eager to feast upon the table Arabeth has set for him. And while death gorges itself on the soldiers and civilians alike, I will be present to bear witness to my master's gluttony. You're a bloodthirsty freak, Grimno. I like it. You have a love... Oh, 5-point swords evil. Oh no! You have a love of death and bloodshed that is rare outside our order, Plowshare. Yet even you cannot truly fathom the beauty of death or the mysteries of the Silent Lord. As a monk of the Long Death, I was subjected to rituals and ceremonies that brought a true appreciation for that which others fear in their ignorance. Torture, pain, suffering, and even death itself, these things are beautiful. I kill when I have to, Grimnaw, but I doubt I'll ever see anything beautiful in it. You bring destruction wherever you go, Plowshare. Your motives may be good or evil, but that makes no difference. Death is forever by your side. The Silent Lord has placed his mark upon you. If I could share the experiences of my initiation, you might begin to glimpse some small hint of what death truly means, the only pure, absolute truth in an imperfect existence. So enlighten me, tell me about your order's rituals. No, Plowshare, now is not the time. Eager as you are, I am afraid you are not ready for the wisdom I would share. Perhaps later I will speak more of this, but now is not the time. You are not yet ready. Let us return to our mission, for in doing so we will surely spread death throughout the north. Alright, clumsy elf waifu.
My dear friend, it warms my heart to see your face again. Erengend must have brought you here to help search for the words of power.
It is good to see you again, Linu Lanenrao. After Arabeth's betrayal, I readied myself for a return to Everasca. Yet somewhere deep inside me, I prayed that we would meet once again, Plowshare. When I heard of Arengen's call for brave adventurers to serve the cause of Neverwinter to join the Lord's alliance here at Birona's Well, I knew that you would not resist such a grand opportunity. You are drawn to heroic deeds, like a glutton to a bakery, Plowshare. I grabbed the first ride out of town and came here. Well, the second ride actually got me here. Oh, Lino, what happened to the first ride? You make it sound as if, oh, all right, never mind. I was supposed to hitch a ride with one of the supply wagons at first, but the wagon I was on broke. Broke? How did it break? Well, we had stopped for the night, and I had this nightmare that a dragon was chasing me. I woke up out of the dream and saw something large outlined against the moon. I should have known better, but it didn't really look like a dragon, but I was frightened. I should have known better. It didn't really look like a dragon, but I was frightened. Okay, there's no but there. So I cast the first spell that came to mind. The first blast of lightning did a little damage, but it was the following three that shattered it to tiny little pieces. Did the Wagoneers throw you out? It was dark and everyone was so shocked by the lightning that no one knew where it came from. I suppose that I probably should have told them it was me. I had to get here though, and I will pay Lord Nasher back out of my own wages when we are done here. Do you know anything about the words of power, Lino? I don't know where they would be, although I would think that such magic would most likely be associated with the ancient times. That leads me to think about some ruins far to the south of here. What about them? I have read lately of ruins that contain traces of ancient cultures whose knowledge of magic ran deeper than any living today. I am an elf of Everasca, a land where studying the mysteries is more than a path, it is the highest calling. The ruins to the south call to me as if they hide knowledge that is imperative to us. I suppose that it may just be my own heritage, driving me to study something as old and unusual as these ruins are reputed to be. But it might be even more than that. I will follow your lead as always, my dear Plowshare. You are a better judge of such things than I am. And I would love to have you travel with me again, clumsy elf waifu. Then I shall endeavor to keep you alive once again, Plowshare. Just try occasionally to keep out of harm's way. No. Sometimes I think you are as bad as I am for getting in trouble. You're correct.
Hey there, dear. What can I do for you?
Okay, elf waifu, tell me your story. What made you... Okay, I love chatting with you, but don't you think we should focus on your mission right now? No, I'm focusing on you, mother lover. What made you decide that you should be a cleric? My, it's been a long time since someone asked me that question. I came to Seani Moonbow when I was very young, which is unusual since my parents were both mages and followers of the god Corellon. It started when I was sent to Gaedolin Centristi's School for Potentials. You see, both of my parents were deep into the mysteries and held positions of respect. It was assumed that I would take after my parents in the magical arts. What are potentials? All children of gifted wizards in Nebraska are sent to special schools as potentials because they are expected to excel in furthering the art of spellcraft. My ability to get in trouble had already started by that age, but my parents kept it quiet, thinking I would grow out of it. Okay, go on. My first day of classes was a disaster, but I don't think it had anything to do with my ability for spellcasting. I had an insatiable curiosity, and Gadolin was a crotchety old master who expected all elven children to be patient, quiet, and orderly. I barely possess those traits now, let alone when I was a child. The master decided to open class with a powerful spell to awe us into submission to his tutelage. He turned his back and I moved in. What do you mean by moved in? I just wanted to look at the spell components. They were very interesting, especially the wonderful gem he had sitting beside the circle. Well, he went to reach for the gem, and it wasn't there. The spell misfired, causing him to ooze purple smoke for weeks. So he kicked you out? Gadolin was well paid for training us. He didn't kick me out right away, but he never forgave me either. It also wasn't the only accident to befall the class when I was around. Despite all of this, I might still have become a wizardess if it wasn't for the little trip I took. That was an accident that will long be remembered in our fair city. My fate became sealed to my faith in Sainin that day. My fate became sealed to my faith in Sainin... Okay, it's a tongue twister. My fate became sealed to my faith in Sainin that day. What fate would that be? I will have to tell you of my dimension hopping trip later. We have too much to do right now to tell that tale. We need to find the words of power for Aaron Gen if we are to save Neverwinter. Okay, so the last person is redhead bard waifu.
Somehow I knew you couldn't be far. As soon as Aaron Gend mentioned why we were brought here, I began wondering when you would pop up.
It is good to see you again, Charwin. Did I say it was good to see you? I only said I knew you'd come. I only jest, Plowshare. Of course it is good that you are here. I wasn't going to come to Berun as well originally. I figured I had done enough by your side, but the story isn't finished just yet, is it? And you know what a sucker I am for a good tale. So what do you say then, Plowshare? Shall we join together again? I want to see this unfold firsthand. Do you know anything about the words of power, Charwin? No, nothing at all. I find that strange too. I know considerable lore, yet neither I nor any of the tomes I've researched mention them. I have an idea of where to look, however. Where? South of Fort Uthgardt, there's supposed to be some ancient ruins, older than any settlement in the Northlands by far, so the tales say. It was supposedly once the home of a creator race that predates even the elves, if you can imagine that. I've never heard of anyone returning from it though, so it could be anything. The magic power in the area is supposed to be incredible. There are stone monoliths which are too dangerous even to approach, which would give me even more reason to believe the words may be there. I would be honored to have you join up with me again, redhead waifu. Then I am at your disposal once again, Plowshare. Uwu.
Yes? Is there something you need?
I just want to talk for a while. Talk about what, Plowshare? How about telling me a tale, Charwin? You are a bard, after all. I normally save my best tales for taverns with a full audience. Why should I recount a tale only for you, Plowshare? Because I love listening to your lovely voice? Tempting, I must admit. Perhaps I should ask you to remove your tunic while I talk so we could be equal. I'll tell you what, Plowshare. I'll tell you your tale if you promise to listen attentively and be a proper audience. I can do that. Well, that's good. I'll hold you to it then. But what story should I tell, then? Shall I tell a tale of the great Plowshare, savior of Neverwinter, and his search for the words of power? I think I know that one. Not like I tell it, believe me. You're probably right, however. The subject matter would be a bit familiar, and I'm a bit fuzzy in the ending. How about the sad tale of the great Lady Arabeth, torn between love and honor, fallen from the grace of Tyr? I've heard the ending. That's true, isn't it? Too bad. Hers is a sad tale that itches to be told. Let's see, I'll think of something else. How about a tale of the great Lord Nasher, how the man was in his glory days, before he became a sad old ruler? How about something original? You're going to be picky, are you? Very well then, give me some time to think about it. For now, let's continue with the making of your own tale. Alright, so... let me see if
I've been waiting for you.
I'm probably going to take Grimnaw. I need to examine him. So, is he hasted? Yes, he is hasted. And he doesn't have the robes. He has the robes of the Dark Moon though, but when this game was first released, there were no flowing robes available to be worn in the game, so all the robes are basically like shirts. Kind of like how this is described as an adventurous robe, but it's not really an adventurous robe, it's more like a shirt. Okay, so we got Murder Dwarf. So... guess we can exit here. Alright, so this is Speron as well. We have the Mercenary Enclave, the Drinking House, that's the Inn, Temple of Tyr. Arangen's Lodge, that's where we came from. The Mini-Starred Cloak Enclave, trading post, and these are the 3 areas to go to. North, west, and south. There's also a druid grove here and an encampment of Uthgardt barbarians. So, if I recall correctly, there's like a boots rest. No, that's not it. There's like somewhere here you can loot where there's like boots. Oh, I think this is it. Yeah, Tome of Boots. The florid, swooping, elongated hand in which this manuscript is written leaves little doubt as to its author. The wizard's mark on the inside cover further confirms that this is indeed one of the many tomes of magical item construction written by Hasuraman the Muddle. That is very loud. What the hell is that? Oh, there's like a fly sound effect in the garbage. Okay, there we go. Written by Hasuraman the Muddle. The fashioning of the magical footwear known as gargoyle boots, or as some insist on calling them, boots of the gargoyle, is an involved and difficult process not to be lightly undertaken. Before beginning the procedure, it is imperative that one perform said procedure within the confines of a proper mage's laboratory to avoid contaminations that would render the procedure ineffective. As one might imagine, the primary ingredient is the skull of the creature that gives its name to the footwear. The skull must then be combined with a bodak's tooth and subjected to a stone skin spell in order to complete the construction of said item. I can't cast stone skin, can I? I cannot. Let's see, there's a many-star... the wizard's lab is obviously in the many-starred cloak. So, let's see, let's go to this training post. There's a barrel here with a healer skin. Husher Clay. Oh, this is the guy who upgrades equipment. Barun Silverblade. Anyway, let's talk to this guy first. Greetings, friend. Husher Clay at your service. Care to check out the wares here at the newest branch of my adventuring gear shops? What do you mean the newest branch? Well, I used to run a little place way down south. Business was good, but the big money is in franchising. So I left my son in charge of my store and headed north to expand my merchant empire. When I came across all these rich adventurers gathered here in Biron as well, I figured this was the perfect place to set up a new shop, at least until I get a license to sell Neverwinter. I'm searching for the words of power. I'm afraid that's something I don't actually have in stock. But seriously, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that. You might want to speak with Lillian Cambridge, that archaeological expert Aaron Genn brought in. She spends most of her time at the tavern, from what I've gathered. She's a drunk. Maybe you'll find her more helpful than I did. What do you mean by that? When I heard there was an archaeologist nearby, I went to speak with her about a certain item I've been trying to track down. But she wasn't really interested, said she only wanted items of historical significance and that she didn't have time to chase after trinkets. I even offered her a generous reward, but she seemed more interested in the wine bottle on the table than my story. She's a drunk. Maybe I could help you. I'm not a drunk. Maybe you could at that. You seem like a capable man, and I'm also not a drunk. Tell you what, you help me out, I'll give you the payment I was offering Lillian. What's the job? In addition to my retail business, I'm also a collector of rare gems. Right now, there's one particular gem I'm interested in, the Star Sapphire. The Star Sapphire is valuable, I'll warrant you, but you'll never get more than 1,000 gold from any other dealer. But it's interesting to me as a collector, so I'm offering more. I'll give you 3,000 gold if you bring it back to me. Why do you want it? The Star Sapphire was part of a dowry given to Layan Sharu, the youngest daughter of a powerful merchant family that flourished in Waterdeep nearly 2 centuries ago. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that. I'm sorry to the French people in chat. But Layan wasn't ready to resign herself to a life of wedlock. She was an aspiring mage, and the morning of her wedding she fled to the north to seek her fame and fortune. According to the reports, Layan became quite an accomplished wizard. She was powerful enough to foresee her own death and construct an elaborate, trap-filled tomb to inter her remains. And you think the Star Sapphire is still in her tomb? By all accounts, the Star Sapphire was one of her most treasured possessions. It reminded her of the life she had left behind in Waterdeep. The Star Sapphire would make a nice addition to my collection. Bring it to me, and I'll give you 3,000 gold pieces, the same price I offered Lillian. It's far more than the Sapphire is worth to a more typical buyer. I'll need some money up front for this job. Expenses, you know. Expenses? Well, I guess a small advance wouldn't be out of place. Tell you what, I'll agree to another 100 gold if you agree to undertake this mission. Okay, 100 gold. I'll give you another 100 gold if you agree to undertake this mission. Okay, cool. Excellent. Nobody knows for certain where Layen was buried, but it's rumored to be somewhere in the Coldwood. You are most likely right. If anyone's ever found the exact location of her tomb, they never came back alive to report it. But don't let that scare you off. I'm sure it's nothing you can't handle. Yeah, I can handle it. Just bring me the Star Sapphire once you find it. I'll give you your reward. Now, is there anything else? I'd like to take a look at your inventory. Alright, what do you have? You have nothing for me. Yep, this is a standard weapon. Oh, wow. Summon creature 8. Horrid wilting. Time stop. 9 seconds of time stop. And weird. 10,000 GP. Holy crap. There's a Staff of Velmaxian. In ancient times, the proud and quarrelsome wizard Velmaxian was a man of great power and prominence. He crafted this staff with the aid of a demon, all to win the heart of Chasiana, the daughter of his long-dead master. When the debt came due, the demon demanded Chasiana as his price. In a rage, Velmaxian descended into the abyss and used the staff to battle the demon and rescue the woman he loved. Okay, so it's a +3 staff with +2 AC deflection. Chain lightning, ethereal visage, and fireball. Not really useful. So now we have +3 items at our disposal. And another bag of holding, which I'll buy. Yay! For storage. While I'm at it, I'm going to store my crafting equipment here, crafting supplies here. In my other magic bag, aka box. And I'm going to sell some stuff to this merchant. Probably also store these quest items here. Grimnos gem. Let's see. That's probably not useful anymore. I'm probably gonna. Do I still need this? I'll probably keep this just in case I encounter any giants, and I will. I will encounter giants in this chapter. Let me see. There's their tokens. Linus token. Body Knots gem. Tommy's contract. Let's see. Sharwin's contract. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is from chapter 1. Yeah, I don't need this anymore. I can sell that. Amulet of the Long Death. That's from Grimnaw. Where are the other quest items? Oh, Dalen's Feather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the only one remaining is Grimnaw. Where is your gem? It should be a red gem. Did I put it here? I did. I did put it here. So I guess I'm gonna put it here. Alright, that should be it. Now let's talk to this guy.
Hey, what?
Welcome, noble sir, to Baron's smithy. I, of course, am Baron, master dwarf and smith, and creator of fine magical items. How may I be of service to you today? I want you to make an item for me. Just place one component item and one magical weapon, or one suit of magic armor on the forge, and I'll help you out. But if the forge be empty, like it is right now, I can't really do my thing, can I? If you want, I can look through your inventory and backpack to see if you have anything I can combine into a powerful weapon or suit of armor. Is there anything in particular you want me to look for? What kind of component items? What kinds of things would component items be? Here you go. Just take this book I have here. It will explain everything you can make and the components required to do so. Not interested right now. I'll be going. Right. So let's read the book. So this is basically an upgraded version of the craftable items in chapter 1. Okay. Gladiator Club, Ironwood and the Magic Club. Ironwood Mace. What can I use here? I can't use any of those. Phase Spear is something I can use. Fairy Dust and the Magic Spear. So let's try that. So first of all, I'm gonna purchase a normal spear from this guy, and we're gonna cheese it by... Oh, he doesn't have a normal spear. God damn it. Let's try another store. Let me see, is there another store here? Let's try the many-starred cloak. Hey, it's Eltura, and she doesn't recognize us. Click.
Welcome to this rather temporary branch of the Guild of the Many-Starred Cloak. Normally, the arcane knowledge of our guild is restricted to members, but Erin Gend has asked me to forego that formality under these circumstances.
See, the thing is, we're a member of the guild because, you know, we joined the guild in Chapter 1, but she doesn't remember that.
Is there some particular item of strange and wondrous magical properties that you seek? Or perhaps you've come to make use of the little laboratory I've set up in the back.
How do you know my name? Even I forgot her name. It's magic. I wish to purchase some magic supplies. Okay, a nymph cloak +3, which is nice. A greater belt of guiding light. So, death magic, fear. It's nice, but I'm already immune to fear thanks to Dalen's amulet. Also, some stuff that I don't really need. Master Adventurer's Robe. What is that? So I think this has the same. Yeah, it has the same description as this, but it's upgraded to 10 damage and a +3. So I'm gonna get that. That's actually pretty nice. I'm gonna sell this. And ooh, it's a kind of nice and pretty red cloak. So I'm gonna grab that. Sell this. So now my charisma is 30. Yeah. And you have a non-magical spear. Nice. I'm probably gonna grab a non-magical club as well for the gladiator club. Staff of power. Anything here? I will actually get this because this item is required to craft. There's a quest here where you can craft a staff of command. The spells on it are useless, but it gives you immunity to mind affecting as in your staff slot. So I don't have to sacrifice any of my items here to get immunity to mind affecting spells. And I guess that's it. I'm gonna buy that later, probably. Alright, let's return to the trading post. Husher Clay's trading post. And then we do the cheesy thing by casting Greater Magic Weapon on the spear. And the club, where is it? Club, here you go. So let's see, let's put down the magic club. And then the... where are my crafting components? Oh, don't tell me. Did I sell the ironwood? Oh, no. Oh, here we go. Ironwood. Click. Let's talk to him. I want you to make an item for me. Okay, I see there's some stuff on my anvil. Let me take a look and see what I can construct for you. Ironwood. You know, I could combine the ironwood with that magic club of yours and make you the gladiator's club. But this job isn't cheap. It will cost 20,000 gold pieces for me to make this for you. Payment in advance, of course. Here's your 20,000 gold. Always a pleasure doing business with a fine man such as yourself. Stand back. You don't want to catch a hammer in the head. There you go, sir. Quick as you please, and the job is done. You can pick the item up from my forge. Gladiator's Club +4. So it's a +4, and it's days on hit for 75% for 1 round. I guess it's nice. Now let's do the phase spear. We need fairy dust. Do I have fairy dust? Oh crap, did I sell all of it? Oh, I have 1 left. Oh my, that's nice. Alright, make me the phase spear. That fairy dust will work into your magic spear. I could make a phase spear if you want. But this job isn't cheap. Yeah, 30,000. Here you go. Alright, and now our Phase Spear is ready. Phase Spear plus 3. So it has electrical damage, which is, I guess, nice. Yeah, I guess I'll use that now. That's going to be my primary weapon for now. It's nice, though. It has that shock effect, and I can upgrade it to plus 4 using my greater magic weapon.
Hello there.
Okay, I'd like to take a look at your inventory, and I'm going to sell you my stuff. And this one, I didn't really make any profit. It cost 20,000 to make this. And it's only going to be selling for 19,000. I'm going to keep it. This one, though, I guess I can sell it, but, you know what? I'm going to keep it. So let's put it in our bag of holding. And that's where you stay for now. Let's rest first. Now, there are some quests in town, particularly the, there's that quest where you go through a jury trial and try to get a man off for murder. He's innocent, but he's being framed. That actually kind of reminds me of my situation for the past 2 years. I got framed for something twice. And the justice system here in America is very pay to win, and not at all like in Neverwinter. So I guess let's do that first. Oh, look at him go! Holy crap! Come here and talk to me. Sure, senpai.
Something I can do for you?
You're going up to the top of the plateau to see Baronas? Well, if you are, just watch your step. I wouldn't trust those Uthgardt savages as far as I could throw them. Who are you? The Lord's Alliance figured out it might be a good idea to post a guard here at the base of the plateau to warn people. Past this point, you're entering the heathen camps. They can go on up if you want, but watch your step with those savages. We don't want any trouble with those Uthgardt camp around Baronas Well. Baronas Well? Yeah, you know, Baronas Well. It ain't much to look at, but I guess some people figure it's a big deal, what with the historical significance and all. Verona was some Uthgardt hero, or so they say, the legendary father of their people, or some such nonsense. They say he built that well at the top of this plateau. I don't believe in the legend myself, but the plateau is a holy site to them damn Uthgardt. Guess that's why they built their camp up there. Uthgardt? Yeah, one of the Uthgardt tribes has joined the Lord's Alliance, the Black Lions, I think. I don't really trust them heathens, but I guess we need all the help we can get. They've gone and set up their camp on top of this plateau. Seems they figured they've got a claim to the land around Baronas Well. Is there anything else up there? Well, there's a druid grove up there. I think it's run by a man named Yusam. You know them druids, nature this and nature that. I guess that's why he'd rather stay up there beside Baronas Well with them primitive Uthgardt. Oh, someone's in chat. I'm so sorry. He ripped me off with the first, but in turn was so nice to give you a discount on the second. You're talking about the club and the spear, right? No, it has more to do with the enchantment, with the properties of the thing. There were more properties of the spear, so it sells more. But yeah, I guess role-playing, not metagaming. Is your name Alisa Phoenix or Alice a Phoenix? Anyway, is there anything else up there? I already asked him. I'm not gonna rip her off for money, so I'll be going now. See you around then. Like I said, watch yourself among them Uthgardt. Allies or not, I don't trust those savages. Sorry for just yakking on and on for several minutes. I kinda can't take my eyes off while I'm reading. Alright, let's talk to Yusam. As with most druids, there is something wild and untamed about this man, as if the fetters of civilization have no hold upon him. Yet in his eyes can be seen a gentle compassion toward all of nature's creatures. So you are a phoenix. Cool. Like I have a friend whose name is Warmaster, but I pronounce it as Warmaster. Aster being star. So I call it hello Warmaster, and some people play RuneScape, which I pronounce as Run Escape. Because you use RuneScape to run and escape from your life. Yeah, I decided to do this run because I kinda wanted to leave a record of me before I die. What with all the fun excitement in the world right now. Okay, let's talk to this guy.
Friend. I am Yusam, Druid of the North, liaison between the Lord's Alliance and the Uthgardt.
You are free to take solace in the tranquility of my grove if you wish. Or is there some other reason you have sought me out? My name is Plowshare the Sorcerer. I work for Aaron Gend. When the Lord's Alliance set up camp here, Aaron told me he was recruiting agents to search for lost artifacts of ancient magic. I wish you success in your quest, though as I told Aaron, I am more concerned with the plight of the Uthgardt people. The plight of the Uthgardt? What do you mean? My child, this war takes a terrible toll on the Uthgardt. The armies of Luskan lay waste to their lands, and the Black Lion tribe has lost many warriors battling alongside the Lord's Alliance soldiers. But it is for the Uthgardt Elk tribe that I worry most of all. They have allied themselves with the Luskan destroyers who slaughtered the defenseless settlers around Fort Uthgardt in the south. You're a druid, can't you make them stop? Once the Elk tribe welcomed my counsel, but they have since turned their back on the way of nature. The emissaries I have sent to investigate have all been ruthlessly slain. You are not a child of nature, so perhaps you cannot understand the pain I feel over what has happened with the Elk tribe. Perhaps I could investigate this for you, Yusam. Your offer is generous, child. I cannot leave this grove, and there is nowhere else I may turn for aid. I fear, however, that you do not truly understand what you are about to undertake. Such a task would be dangerous, my child. The Elk tribe have slain all who have tried to parley with them. But if you could discover why the Elk tribe have turned their back on us, I would be most grateful. The Elk tribe have fortified themselves inside their keep to the west of Fort Uthgardt, although they continue to make raids on the fort. Perhaps, if you go there, you can find them and speak to Zokan Thunderer, their chief. Any chance of getting an advance in this job as a sign of good faith? I suppose it would not be unseemly for me to grant you some form of payment as a show of faith. Here, my child, take these 100 gold pieces and the blessings of my grove. I pray your mission is a success. I want to purchase some supplies. Okay, what can you sell me? Nothing better than the boots of haste. Boots of speed, rather. Out of curiosity, Miss or Mr. Phoenix, how did you find your stream? And oh no, why did Senpai notice me? Okay, click, click, click. I don't really see anything useful here. Nope, nothing useful. Oh, this might be immunity to death magic, immunity to disease, and improve saving throws fortitude plus 5. Yeah, but I'd be losing my belt of the performer. Okay, moving on. Let's talk to Dalcia. Though not wearing the traditional tribal dress of the Uthgardt, this young woman is obviously used to surviving in the wilds and forests of the northern frontier. Click. On behalf of the Black Lion Uthgardt tribe, I welcome you to this camp. Who are you? I am Dalcia, a friend of the Uthgardt people. I would rather stay here in the camp of the Black Lion tribe than subject myself to the stench of civilization hanging over the Lord's Alliance barracks. I do not expect you to understand. Only those who count themselves among the children of nature, druids and rangers like myself, can truly appreciate the beauty to be found in this simple camp. I'll be going now. You are welcome to explore the tribal camp. I only ask that you respect the ways of the Black Lion tribe and treat the Uthgardt with the honor they deserve. How do I start the quest? Oh, I think I have to go to the temple. So let's teleport to the temple. Here's Nurik from Chapter 2. Hey, you're here! The Dwarven High Priest of Tyr shows the strain of his recent relocation from Port Last, yet he still manages to convey an air of confident authority. Click.
Hail to ye!
Hail to ye! Oh, greetings, Plowshare. It's me, Nurik. Remember? I was serving in Tyr's church in Port Last until Aaron Gend asked me to come and oversee this temple here at Barona's Well. I remember, Nurik. Good to see you again. I'm surprised you remember me, Plowshare. What with everything on your mind, the Luskan cult, Arabeth's betrayal, why, that's enough to make someone forget their own name. To be honest, I almost didn't recognize you, the great hero of Neverwinter. I'm struggling with a problem that's had me a little out of sorts lately. Maybe I could help you with this problem. I don't know. This is a very delicate matter. Recently, an Uthgardt tribesman named Rolgan killed one of the Lord's Alliance soldiers. He claims it was self-defense, and I have given him sanctuary here to save him from the vengeance of the soldier's friends. But Rolgan cannot stay in the temple forever. I am trying to arrange a fair trial for the young man, but his Uthgardt friends are unfamiliar with the justice system, and none of the Lord's Alliance mercenaries wants to defend him during the trial. Okay, maybe I could defend the Uthgardt warrior. So you were just looking at the games category and saw me. I've been here a couple times, but it's usually right before I go to bed. Yay, thanks. Thanks for lurking, my Phoenix, my bird, or whatever you are. Yeah. So one of my other viewers told me, hey, I'm the top Neverwinter Nights 1 streamer. Oh my goodness, we did it, Reddit. We did it. Your offer is a generous one, and as Tyr's priest, I will ensure you are properly compensated according to the defense you present. After careful consideration, I have selected the jury. There will be 2 who represent the interests of the Uthgardt, 2 who represent the mercenaries, and my own acolyte Edgar. I felt this was the only way to be fair. If you agree to undertake this case, I can give you the details. Or is there something else you need? Question mark. I can do it. Take this notebook. It contains information on the jurors and witnesses, as well as the details of the case and the trial itself. As an officer of Tyr, you must keep this notebook to record the progress of the case. I can summarize the notebook for you. First, the jurors. A mercenary named Avrik, a ranger named Dalcia, a soldier named Javon, an Uthgardt wise woman named Pala, and of course my own acolyte Edgar. Feel free to speak to any of the jurors before the trial. It is a common practice to do so in these matters. The Ranger and Pala can be found in the Uthgardt camp. The others are here in the building housing the Lord's Alliance members. And what about the witnesses? The prosecutor has advised me that he will be calling 2 mercenaries who witnessed the event, Zed and Lodar. He will also question Vanda, the wife of the accused. I suggest you speak to these people before the trial to gather what evidence you can. Yeah, for a few days now you've been the only one streaming this at this time. Yes! We did it! I'm number 1! I'm not going to sell the number 1 song because I haven't memorized the lyrics. And of course, there's the Uthgardt himself, Rolgan. He doesn't have to testify, but if you call him up to defend his actions, then the prosecutor will be able to question him. He is here in the back of the temple. He is here in the back of the temple here. Weird construction. If you wish to speak with him, I'll begin the investigations right away. Rolgan is counting on you to bring forth the truth of this trial. Once you have all the evidence, come speak to me, and we can begin the proceedings. Is there something else I can do for you? Yeah, let me see your stuff. Boots of Speed, I already have those. Gargoyle Boots, I can craft that on my own. Ring of Power. Minceril Lostbone was a powerful priest of Malar who enjoyed many a bloody brawl or battle, but felt that such fights were simply over too soon. Studying the regenerative capabilities of trolls, Minceril was convinced that more entertainment value could be garnered from a field of regenerating warriors than a regular battlefield, so he commissioned the creation of a number of powerful rings. When the rings were finished, he distributed them to particularly vicious warriors who were often on opposite sides of the battlefield. Cold, electrical... freedom! Wow, that's really nice. So this one doesn't give me acid resistance. No acid, but it does give me freedom and +1 regeneration. Hell yeah, let's take that. Freedom of movement is a very powerful ability. Let me see. Greater Amulet of Health. So, immunity, disease, level, ability drain, and poison. But not to fear. And no strength either. Do I want that? Rod of Resurrection is actually useless since there's no valid target for this in the actual game. Let me see. So this... hold on. Let me read that again. So it doesn't protect against death magic. Just disease, level, ability drain, and poison. So that's pretty much convenient on its own. I only have a dexterity +1 bracer, so we get +2. Baldurand's armor. That's a reference to Baldur's Gate. No one really knows what fate befell Baldurand, the founder of Baldur's Gate, but people never grow tired of speculating. When his personal armor was found on the Sword Coast, supposedly recovered and sold by a group of adventurers, it only served to spark interest in him once again, and several copies of the suit were made to accommodate collectors and historians. In this way, it can be said Baldurand obtained a measure of immortality. +3... oh, this is a paladin's armor. +3 charisma, +1 regeneration. That's actually pretty nice. Yeah, that's all I really need right now. Let's talk to Edgar.
Well met.
Welcome to the Temple of Tyr. Should you require the services of a priest, please speak to Nurik. I am here about Rolgan's trial. Of course, Nurik has done me a great honor by selecting me for the jury in this case. I am looking forward to performing my duties in the administration of Tyr's justice. How do you feel about this case? Even though I disapprove of the Uthgardt's worship of a pagan god, I am not going to prejudge him. The real culprit in this crime is the demon alcohol. Of course, the alcohol does not excuse the Uthgardt's behavior. Anyone who lets himself get drunk must bear the consequences of his actions. This is why I so strongly disapprove of consuming alcoholic beverages, and I feel the same way. But I am keeping an open mind. I wish you well in this case, my lord. May the justice of Tyr be served. Let's speak to Rolgan.
You are here because Neurek sent you? You are here because of the trial?
Yes, I am to defend you. Tell me what happened. Griff invited me to play a game of chance. Not wanting to spurn this gesture of friendship, I accepted his invitation and the drinks he readily offered me. I began to feel strange. My mind was clouded by more than just ale. I gambled foolishly and lost several personal heirlooms of great religious significance to my tribe. Go on. I returned to my tribe in shame. Vanda, my wife, told me to go back and speak to Griff, to humble myself and beg him to return our religious heirlooms in exchange for the promise of much gold later on. But Griff attacked me before I could speak my offer. I killed him to save my own life. There was no other choice. I fled to the temple, barely escaping a mob of soldiers seeking my blood to avenge Griff. Nurik gave me sanctuary, but only if I vowed to submit to a trial to determine my fate. Can you tell me anything else? We Uthgardt are different than you. Our ways and customs may seem strange. They call us savages and pagans and drunks and thieves. This is how the Lord's Alliance sees us, and that is why I am called a murderer for defending myself. We of the Black Lion tribe are a noble people. I am no heathen savage, no vile killer. I pray to Uthgardt that you can see this and help me. I'll do my best. Go if you must. I must stay here, though. My heart aches to return to my tribe. When the trial is over, Uthgardt willing, I will be allowed to return to my home. Alright then, let's go back outside and then talk to everyone. Let's see, where is that? There's a mercenary enclave. Right, let's talk to these people. Click. Ooh, lots of stuff. Let's rob them all blind. Unlock. No traps. Gold. Don't mind me, I'm robbing you blind. There's Zed.
I greet you.
This better be important as I don't feel like chatting. It's bad enough my leg is killing me, but now I gotta be a witness to this murder trial too. What happened to your leg? My leg is none of your business. Go find someone else to bother, leave me alone. Okay, I guess we'll give him universal health care. Yeah!
I greet you.
Hey, thanks for curing that wound in my leg. I still got the occasional ache from my arthritis, but I can handle that. What did happen that night with Griff? First, Griff spiked at Uthgardt's trick. Griff was always doing stuff like that to try and get an edge at cards. Could be the stuff in the drink made that Uthgardt act like he did. I also happen to know for a fact that Griff was cheating that night. He wanted to take everything that Uthgardt owned. He told me he wanted to rob the savage blind. That's all I know. If it's enough to get your client off, so be it. At least now I can walk without clenching my teeth in agony. Seems like a fair trade to me. Let's talk to Javon. Yep.
Well met.
What do you want? You hear about the trial? Nurik sent me. I'm representing Rolgan. I figured as much. I ain't ever been on a jury before. I seen my share of trials, but usually from the prisoner's box. What do you want to know? I'm preparing my case. What do you think about this trial? Looks to me like a bar fight gone out of hand. A few too many drinks in you, and you act stupid. I've been there myself, though I never killed no one. But you know what makes me mad about this case? The people who run around saying the only reason this guy's on trial is because he's an Uthgardt. I ain't no Uthgardt. I've been on trial a bunch of times. Sounds like you're trying to keep an open mind. I know what it's like. Sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Could be that's what happened to this Uthgardt. I kind of hope you get him off. I'd hate to have to sentence a poor guy to execution, but I've got to give an honest verdict. Nurik says it's my duty. Not much I can tell you. I hope you got what you were looking for. Good luck in the trial. And there's Roll Kid. This burly gnome bears the look of a gruff, well-seasoned warrior. Gnome Total War.
I don't recognize you. And I thought I knew all the new recruits who've joined the Lord's Alliance.
My name is Plowshare the Sorcerer. I work for Arengen. That is really loud, that fire. So I'm gonna position the camera away. Plowshare the Sorcerer? The same Plowshare the Sorcerer who saved Neverwinter from the plague? We could use a good man like you up on the battlefront. It's too bad Gen has you working on something else. You must have come in here to purchase some equipment, right? So what can I interest you in? A good sword? A stout shield, perhaps? Or was there something else? Who are you? You're kidding, right? Everybody knows me. I'm Roll Kid of the Mighty Lance. I am probably the most famous gnome knight of Neverwinter. Aaron Gens put me in charge of training and equipping the troops battling the Luskan forces. Seems he's too busy searching for those words of power to bother with a little thing like a war. Normally I wouldn't complain, but this isn't exactly what I signed on for. We can't fight a war with no supplies. No supplies? What are you talking about? It's a side quest. It's those blasted orcish raiders. Every time we get a new supply line set up to the battlefront, those damn bandits cut it off. An army's no good if they don't have a steady stream of supplies replenishing their stores. I tell you, if this keeps up, we might as well surrender to Luskan right now. Maybe I could help with the supply lines. Hey, I'll welcome any help I can get. I've already put out a bounty on the heads of the two most famous orc bandits in the region, Vath and Guzud. I figure if they both get taken out, the rest of the thieving scum will get the message and back off. I'm offering 500 gold pieces for each of them, payable upon delivery of their decapitated head. Any chance of getting an advance in this assignment? Yeah, right. We can barely afford to finance this war as it is. I start shelling out for work that isn't even done, and I won't be able to pay my soldiers their wages. The bounty for each head is 500 gold pieces, plain and simple. If you don't like the offer, don't do the job. Any idea where I could start looking for those bounties? You could try looking in the Coldwood to the northeast. That place has always had its share of bandits, and there were some reports of bandits around Fort Uthgardt to the south. Other than that, I couldn't say. Finding them's the hard part. Well, that and killing them. Let's see your inventory. Gauntlets of Ogre Power for strength. Yeah, I guess I'll take that, actually. For more carrying capacity. And for meleeing people. What happened to my bracers? There they are. While I'm here, I'm going to read the Defense Council Journal. Rolgan. Zed, yeah, talk to him. Drinking House. So, I already talked to Zed. Okay, so I just need to go to the drinking house. Is there anything else you sell here? Nope, nothing. Alright, let's get out of here. So our next stop... Okay, sorry, I just missed that. The devs really bothered to adjust the fire sounds, so they're all at the default setting that makes them sound like a forest fire. Thanks for letting me know. Are you like a builder? Why do you know that? Or did you just, I guess, some trivia you picked up from playing the game? I assume this is the first time you've seen the game. You obviously know how the game is played. Drinking House. I mean, this is the official campaign, though. This was released in 2002. It's 2020, so it was 18 years ago. And they didn't really know what they were doing. Commoner Alikos.
It is a pleasure to speak with you.
Commoner Dylan. That's weird. Okay, I'm going to talk to you later. Averick.
I greet you.
Shove off, buddy. These open sores on my face make it tough enough to attract the ladies without your ugly mug hanging around and cramping my style. I wonder if I can heal him. I'm here to talk about Rolgan's trial. Oh, that prissy priest Nurek must have sent you. Can't figure out why that sawed-off runt wanted me on the jury. Guess he figured I'd be impartial since I hate all races, colors, and creeds equally. Very enlightened attitude you have there. What can I say? You get down to the filthy gutters and everyone's crap stinks the same. What are your feelings about this case? Griff was a rotten bastard, and the Uthgardt did us all a favor by offing him. But if we let him go, we might have drunken savages running through the streets, sacrificing us to their goat gods, you know? Sounds like you figure he's already guilty. The only good thing about that Uthgardt is his wife. I can't wait to see her up testify at the trial. She's one fine piece of meat. Hoo-wee. I wouldn't mind having her pork chops on my plate at dinner tonight. You're a disgusting, vile man. So, what are you going to do about it? You try anything and every Lord's Land soldier in this camp will be all over you. So take your prissy complaints about my attitude, stick him where the sun don't shine, and leave me alone. I wonder if I can heal him to make him feel better. Oh, no, he's not. So, you've done your... I've done some building myself, but I've mainly been playing around with the toolset rather than making a playable module. I definitely think that I performed some black magic with it along the way. Yeah, I would say the Electron toolset... Sorry, Aurora toolset is much better than the Electron toolset. The Electron toolset is more powerful, but it's a lot less user-friendly, and that pretty much doomed Neverwinter Nights 2 to having not as many modules as this game. I wonder if I can cast Restoration on him to make his life better.
I greet you.
Oh, nothing. It didn't affect him at all. Shady character. Are you the...
Hello there.
What's your background here, lad? There's lots of folks liable to stick a knife in it. Ah, Lodar.
Well met.
Look, don't bother me right now. I got a lot on my mind. What this trial and all. I know about the trial. I'm defending Rolgan. Funny, you don't look like a lawyer, but that ain't my business, I guess. You want to ask me some questions? Go ahead. Tell me what happened. Griff and that Uthgardt were playing cards, gambling. Griff won a lot of money, so much that the Uthgardt had to give him some of his jewelry to cover the debt. Real fancy-looking stuff. Later the night Griff went outside. I heard him shout and then rushed out to see him and that Uthgardt smashing swords. Guess the Uthgardt was better at it than Griff. I can't believe I have to testify about this. I've never been to a trial before. Don't get so worked up about this trial. Barkeep, a drink for my friend Lodar, please. I'm buying. Hey, you're alright, brother. Good luck at that trial, and thanks for the drink. If you need anything else, I'll be right here. Until the trial's over, they've got me off active duty, so I plan on spending my time here in the drinking house. So, yeah, it's unstable as fuck. That's putting it mildly. So, the toolset actually is capable of using multiple cores. The actual game itself cannot use more than one core, because at the time Neverwinter Nights 2 was created, dual-core processors were only just beginning to enter the market. And people really didn't know how computers would evolve over the years. They assumed we'd have steadily increasing processor power instead of, steadily increasing numbers of processors. Which is why Neverwinter Nights 2 performs very, very poorly in modern systems. And it's a pain in the butt to play. Yeah, crashing simulator, that's a mild way of putting it. I'm loath to even try streaming Neverwinter Nights 2 because, I don't want to keep crashing. That's going to be annoying as hell. Alright, where was I?
Well met.
Hey, I remember you. You're that lawyer. Mighty kind of you to buy me that drink. How about a refill? Bartender, bring me another drink for Lodar. Thanks, I needed that. Too bad you're trying to get Griff's killer off. I kind of like you. You're a nice man, not like Griff. He was always getting into trouble, picking fights, that kind of thing. Kind of racist, too. Always going on about the Uthgardt being drunks and thieves and such. Maybe Griff's to blame for the fight with that Uthgardt. Maybe, but I shouldn't be speaking ill of the dead. Griff had some ugly secrets, but now's not the time to drag it all out. Secrets? What kind of secrets? I really shouldn't tell you. Griff was a friend after all. We're friends, aren't we? Have another drink on me and tell me what you know. Sure, why not, bartender? Another round. Griff's gone now anyway, so who cares if anyone finds out, right? Griff had a nasty habit of spiking the drinks of people he was gambling against. He figured it would give him an edge over them, make their mind all hazy. Not really sporting, but that's the kind of guy Griff was. Anything else you can tell me about the trial? Nah, I told you pretty much everything I know already. If you need anything else, I'll be right here. Until the trial is over, they've got me off active duty, so I plan on spending my time here in the drinking house. So, okay. You've watched someone play that game live. Good God, the only improvement are the graphics. Yes, it is on... Oh no, the fact that the prestige classes for spellcasters actually works in Neverwinter Nights 2 is a nice thing. Like, the reason there's no Archmage prestige class or Eldritch Knight in Neverwinter Nights 1 is because those prestige classes don't work properly in this engine. In Neverwinter Nights 2, they do work properly. So, that's a sad thing. So, as a game itself, it's better, but the overall package is so much worse.
About time you showed up. I've been waiting at least 10 minutes for
The quest completion sound was a bit too loud compared to her voice. I'm not here to fill your drink. I'm Plowshare the Sorcerer. I work for Aaron Genn. Ah yes, Plowshare the Sorcerer, the hero of Neverwinter. I drink a toast to your legendary deeds if my glass wasn't empty. My name is Lillian Cambridge. Archaeologist. I'm the North's leading expert in antiquities and ancient artifacts. Yeah, that was an epic request for an alcohol. Yeah, it was very epic. Yeah, the waiter is here. Quest complete. No, I'm not your waiter. I'm your colleague. I'm basically your hired muscle. No doubt Aaron Genn has told you that I've come to offer my rather unique knowledge to the aid of the cause of the Lord's Alliance. Yeah, I'd like to ask you some questions. That is why I'm here, to answer your questions about the words of power and the creator race that constructed them, and to sample the local wines, of course. Yes, that is your secondary objective. Totally not your primary objective. Where can I find the words of power? If it were as simple as drawing you a map, Plowshare, I'd have told Aaron Genn everything I know. You have to remember that the words are thousands and thousands of years old. The creator race that fashioned the words predated even the first elven kingdoms. Everything I know about them is theory and conjecture upon a foundation of myth and legend. The wheel of time turns and legends come... What was that thing? The wheel of time turns and legend comes to pass. I can't remember the wheel of time intro. Surely you must know something. I can tell you that there were several words of power created, but they have been scattered throughout the north and lost for countless millennia. All that remain are rumors of where they might have disappeared. Some believe the words were taken by the dragons who dwell in the mountains to the west. Others claim clues to their location may be found in the long deserted ruins far to the south of Fort Uthgardt, or hidden in the forests to the north. The truth is they could be anywhere, though I believe I have learned the location of one of the words after many years of research and study. Where can I find this word? Before I tell you the location of the words of power, I need you to perform a task. Something very precious was stolen from me recently, a snow globe I had acquired on behalf of a very wealthy benefactor. If you want me to tell you what I know about the location of the word of power, you'll have to recover the snow globe for me. I can't waste my time looking for a snow globe. I don't think you appreciate the importance of this particular snow globe, Plowshare. There is power locked within the glass sphere, power we cannot even begin to comprehend. I have spent many years unlocking the snow globe's secrets, and I'm not about to just forget about it. Not when I've finally found a buyer for it. Anyway, the bottom line is this. If you want my help in finding the word of power, you'll have to get my snow globe for me. So, here's the crazy thing. Neverwinter's being attacked right now, and this drunk bitch is trying to get me to do her fetch quest for her. She could have just told me that, hey, I think the word of power is inside this magical snow globe. So fine, where can I find the snow globe? I was en route to deliver the snow globe to my buyer when it was stolen from me by an unscrupulous, albeit rather charming wizard named Nax. From what he told me, Nax was in these parts doing some research of his own. It seems he found a magical entrance to the deserted laboratory of a long-dead wizard somewhere in the Coldwood to the north. I'll bet Nax is exploring that laboratory right now, and with my snow globe at his side, but if you want to go after him, you'll need this teleportation scroll. Nax told me it was the only way to pass through the magical portal leading to the dungeon. How did you manage to get this teleportation scroll, and why did Nax tell you all this? I am a capable and attractive woman, and am not above using my charms to further my archaeological investigations. Nax offered to buy me a few drinks. We got to talking about our respective research, one thing led to another. Afterwards, when Nax fell asleep, I borrowed the scroll and slipped off to have copies made before returning the scroll to his pack. I plan to do a little investigating of this dungeon on my own later on. But while I was out making copies, Nax took my snow globe. I didn't notice until he was long gone. I guess it's my own fault for leaving him asleep in my own room. I don't carry a grudge against Nax for what he did. I just want the snow globe back. Deliver it to me and I'll tell you the location of one of the words of power. Sure. Sounds like the snow globe's important. What else would you give me if I bring it back to you? For you? What's this? You haven't even begun the task and already the sort of topic of compensation has come up? Bring me the snow globe and we'll talk, Plowshare. There's no point fixing a price when you don't even have the item on you. Yeah, I'll be back when I get the snow globe for you, Lillian. I'll be looking forward to it. I hope you have better luck than the others. So far, no one who's gone to the Coldwood after Nax has come back. Like, she could have just told me that, hey, Plowshare, the snow globe, that's where the... this hay, obviously just for the horses. Oh, okay, that's That's a joke there. There are no horses in the official campaign, and there won't be any horses until Wyvern Crown of Cormyr. That's a development gag right there. Alright, so I'm gonna go and finish the court case. Temple of Tyr, Medistart Cloak, Trading Post. Okay, I need to go to the Druid Grove and talk to the Uthgardt. I think Dulcia was the one. Yeah, it's this lady. Okay, I'm representing Rolgan at his murder trial. Yes, Nurik mentioned he was seeking someone to defend Rolgan in this trial. Hey, giving snarky comments again. God damn it, hey. There are actually books in this chapter. Like, there's 3 books about things that aren't in the game, like horses and I can't remember what the cloaks. I think because there were no cloaks in this game when it was released. Yurik mentioned he was seeking someone to defend Rolgan in this trial. I hope you truly appreciate the situation you've gotten yourself into. The Uthgardt are a noble people, but their culture and beliefs seem strange to the Lord's Alliance. Often the Uthgardt are victims of prejudice and hatred simply because of who they are. Sounds like you think Rolgan is innocent. I will wait until the trial before I make the decision, of course. I only wanted you to be aware that the fact Rolgan is an Uthgardt might have something to do with him being on trial. I'll be going now. You are welcome to explore the tribal camp. I only ask that you respect the ways of the black... Yeah, you already told me that. So, Endar, let's talk to this guy.
You are a good person to defend Rolgan. I, under Hardfoot, treat you with honor.
Arengen mentioned the Elk tribe had allied against us. What can you tell me about them? I know little of the Elk tribe. Their territory is to the south, near the fort you call Uthgardt. Once they were an ally of the Lord's Alliance, but now they slaughter the settlers and farmers of your kind. The Elk tribe have turned their back on the Uthgardt ways. Something has destroyed their honor, and they have allied themselves with the evil of Luskan. More than this, I cannot tell you. I'm going to ask you some questions? Tell me about your people. The ignorant among the Lord's Alliance call us savages and barbarians, yet the honor of our ancestors shields us against their empty words. We are born of the Black Lion. We are of the Uthgardt. Our tribe is strong and proud. We are noble warriors and great hunters, following the herds to feed and clothe our tribe. We are the Black Lion tribe, and we are one with the land. I sense there is tension between your people and the Lord's Alliance. There has always been tension between the Uthgardt and the Lord's Alliance. Our cultures are very different. It is inevitable there will be some clash when our peoples are forced to work side by side. But now the tension has reached a dangerous level. Rolgan, one of the Black Lion tribe, is accused of slaying a soldier of the Lord's Alliance. He is charged with murder. I want to ask you some questions about Rolgan. There is little I can tell you of Rolgan, save that he is falsely accused of murder. Rolgan's wife could tell you more of this. Her name is Vanda. Since Rolgan was seized, she has spent all her time wandering on the sacred grounds of this plateau, praying for her husband. But I sense there was another reason you came to speak with me. Yeah, I'll be going now. Feel free to explore the tribal camp. I only ask that you respect the Uthgardt as you would respect your own kind. Vanda and Pala. Let's talk to Vanda.
What?
I am sorry. Were you speaking to me? Forgive my distraction. I am worried about my husband's upcoming trial. I am representing your husband in this trial. Representing my husband? I am sorry, but the ways of your justice system are unfamiliar to we of the Black Lion tribe. Are you friend or foe? Friend. I must ask you some questions. The priest Nurik said I would have to answer the questions put to me with complete honesty. It was as if he expected me to lie. He knows nothing about the honor of our tribe. Ask away, I have nothing to hide. Tell me what happened the night Griff was killed. My husband had returned home late. He had been drinking, but there was something else. He seemed different, as if more than alcohol were at work in his mind. When he told me he had gambled away the heirlooms of our family, precious stones sanctified by the priest of Uthgardt, I knew something was very wrong. He was not in his right mind, or he would never have wagered these sacred stones on a game of chance. Please go on. I sent him to ask this man Griff to return the heirlooms. We offered to pay him gold in exchange. It would have been far more than he could ever sell the heirlooms for. Their religious significance of the Black Lion tribe far exceeds their material worth. But the soldier attacked my husband, and Rolgan was forced to kill Griff to preserve his own life. He fled to the temple seeking sanctuary. A mob of Griff's enraged friends close on his heels. Anything else? Please help my husband. They are portraying him as a drunken pagan savage. This is how they view all the Uthgardt. We are a noble people, but if Rolgan is convicted, the hurtful stereotype will only get stronger. I wish I could be of more help, but all I can do is pray Uthgardt grants you wisdom in this matter. Let's talk to Pala. Why have you come to seek the counsel of this old woman? Nurik sent me. I am representing Rolgan in the upcoming trial. The life of one of my people is in your hands. I will aid you as best as I can, though there is little I can do. The ways of justice among the Lord's Alliance are unknown to me. What do you think of the case? I am very disappointed in Rolgan. Our tribe constantly struggles against the stereotype of the drunken savage, yet Rolgan allowed himself to fall under the influence of alcohol. This is the result. Sounds like you already think he's guilty. That remains to be seen. Rolgan is a symbol of our people. I pray he is not guilty of what they claim, but my duty in this trial is clear. Nurik has explained the vow I have taken as juror. If the evidence shows Rolgan let alcohol cloud his mind so that he killed that man without reason, I must return a verdict of guilty. This trial is not the way of our tribe, but I must follow Nurik's rules in this matter. We Uthgardt cannot risk the wrath of the Lord's Alliance by defying the High Priest of Tyr. I pray Rolgan is not a sacrifice for the good of the entire tribe, but if it must be, it must be. Can I ask you some questions? Unfortunately, the Council of Elders is reserved for those of the Black Lion tribe. My wisdom is only in the Uthgardt way of life, and you are not Uthgardt. I know nothing of your kind. I cannot give you guidance. Depart with the blessing of the Black Lion tribe. This alone I can give you. Who are you? I am Pala of the Black Lion tribe. I offer the wisdom of age to the Uthgardt who seek it. Okay, I'll be going now. I think I've talked to everyone already. Talked to, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've talked to everyone already. Alright, let's begin the trial. I'm gonna be Phoenix Wright. It's time to Phoenix Wright this. Oh, hello again, Plowshare. Welcome back to the Temple of the Just God. Forgive me if I seem somewhat distracted. Rolgan's impending trial has me a little out of sorts. I've completed my investigations and I'm ready to begin Rolgan's trial. Are you quite certain, my lord? Once the trial begins, it cannot be ended prematurely or Rolgan's life will be forfeit. I'm ready, let's begin. Excellent. I know all parties involved are anxious to settle this matter. I will send word to the prosecutor and everyone else involved. The rules of these proceedings are simple. The jurors will listen to the evidence and testimony, and as the trial progresses, they will use the swords and torches I have given them to indicate either guilt or innocence. This is obviously a way for BioWare to show, look what you can do with the tool set. Look how you can recreate Phoenix Wright in this game. Yeah, objection! Whenever a juror feels the accused is guilty, they will hold forth a sword in their right hand to symbolize the swift strike of justice. If they feel the accused is innocent, they will hold up the torch to symbolize the burning light of truth shining down upon this trial. It sounds simple. Sword for guilty, torch for innocent. As the jurors' views are swayed, so shall the implement they hold forth change. A juror who is still undecided will hold forth neither sword nor torch. 3 jurors must be convinced of the accused's innocence for Rolgan to go free. What we have now begun cannot end until justice is served. If the trial is interrupted or broken off before its proper completion, the accused shall be found guilty, regardless of the status of the jurors. This is clear. If I accidentally cancel out of the dialogue, he will be found guilty, because their scripting is not advanced enough to detect that, and restore the state of the trial. I understand 3 jurors or more must be holding a torch to get Rolgan acquitted, and if I end the conversation before we're done, Rolgan suffers. Now that we are all here, the trial can begin. Remember, if you quit the trial before its rightful end, Rolgan's life is forfeit. Do not press escape.
My name is Egland of the Swift Sword. I am the special prosecutor in the investigation of the death of the Lord's Alliance mercenary known as Griff. And I would like to remind the jury that I have never lost a case. Never!
Never! Neverwinter! The witnesses have been sworn in, and may the light of Tyr's justice shine down on this trial and expose any lies in their testimony. To begin my case, I would like to question Lodar, an eyewitness to the events. I'm here, Your Honor. I'm not the judge, Lodar, just the prosecutor. You don't have to be so formal. Just call me sir. Please tell us what happened in your own words. I'm going to examine him. He has no description. Okay, cool. Well, sir, it was night and Griff was outside the barracks. All of a sudden, we heard the shot, and we run out, and Griff and that Uthgardt there are going at each other with weapons drawn. Before we could step in, that savage stabs Griff right in the gut and runs off. We ran to get the cleric, but by then it was too late. Too late. Griff was gone. The savage killed him. Edgeworth. I'm not actually familiar with the Phoenix Wright. I just know the memes. So I'm so sorry if I don't know who the character is. I might Google that afterwards. That is all I require from this witness. Were it up to me, we could end the trial right now and declare Rolgan guilty, but custom dictates I allow the defense to question the witness if they wish. I'm ready for your questions, Lord Plowshare. Did you see who actually started the fight? No, they were already going at it by the time we got there. So maybe Griff started the fight and Rolgan was just defending himself. Okay, he's no longer convinced of guilt. Isn't it true that Griff spiked Rolgan's drink earlier that evening? Yeah, he wanted to mess that Uthgardt up so he could beat him at cards, make him not think straight. So Griff is partly to blame for his own death. Well, it was his fault the Uthgardt was doped up. Maybe if Rolgan was in his right mind, he wouldn't have killed Griff. Can you tell me how Griff felt toward the Uthgardt? He didn't like them much. He was always complaining about them as damn savages and filthy Uthgardt, always picking fights with them, looking for trouble. So this fight could have been started by Griff. Wouldn't be the first time he let his temper get the better of him. Always was a bit of a hothead, especially when it came to those Uthgardt. He hated them something fierce. Oh, so two are not convinced he's innocent. I have no more questions for this witness. If defense counsel has finished trying to obscure the truth, I will call Zed my next witness. Zed, tell the court what you witnessed on that night. So Edgeworth is one of the prosecutors, probably the fans least dislike. I probably know the guy from the memes, but I just didn't know the name. Right, sir. Well, it's like Lodar said. Griff was outside. We heard him shout. We run out, and the Uthgardt sticks a blade in Griff's belly. Then that savage runs off to the temple for sanctuary like some kind of coward. Well spoken, Zed. He ran off like a murderous coward. Obviously, he's guilty. They always run when they're guilty. This case might be my easiest win yet. Your witness, Plowshare. I'm ready to answer this man's questions. You never actually witnessed the start of the fight, did you? No, I didn't see who started the fight. Oh, wow. 4 are declaring innocent. So yeah, it could have been Griff, if that's what you're getting at. Griff had spiked Rolgan's drink that night, right, Zed? Yeah, he put something in Rolgan's drink, made his mind fuzzy, so he didn't really understand what he was doing. Don't you think that's a mitigating circumstance in what happened? I don't know what mitigating means, but Griff shouldn't have spiked that Uthgard's drink. That's wrong. Griff was always doing stupid stuff like that. Rolgan lost a lot of money that night, didn't he, Zed? Can you explain that? Or should I ask him that? Actually, no, I'm not going to bring that up. I have no further questions for this witness. If the defense is finished with their blathering, the prosecution has only one witness left. I call in Vanda, the wife of the accused. I'm here, ask your questions. I sense some hostility on your part, young lady. Please remember, I am only doing my job. It's not my fault your husband had to go on a killing spree. England, I have given you a lot of leeway in this case, but you are coming very close to crossing the line of what is acceptable. The judge is pissed off. This reminds me of like how there's a certain prosecutor, a county over, who was basically pissed off her fellow prosecutors, her colleague defense attorneys, and the judges themselves because of her antics. Like, people describe her as difficult to work with, which is usually code for a strong-willed woman, but in this case, she literally is difficult to work with. Like, she's incompetent and kind of an asshole. That pisses everyone off. Okay, continue. Sorry, Your Honor, but this woman is looking at me like she wants to kill me. Must run in her family. Neither my husband nor I would ever commit vile murder. We Uthgardt are honorable people. Yes, you Uthgardt take honor very seriously. Wasn't Rolgan ashamed at having gambled away everything he owned? Didn't he want to do anything to wipe away that shame? Yes, but he wouldn't have killed that man. So you say, but we know how strong Uthgardt honor is, and Rolgan is a proud warrior. Surely a jury as intelligent and attractive as this one must realize that his pride would have driven Rolgan to kill Griff in a desperate attempt to salvage his wounded honor. Defense may cross-examine now. I have no further questions for this witness since she all but admitted her husband is a rampaging serial killer. You are the worst prosecutor ever. You're not even pretending. England, don't push me. Sorry, Judge, I won't say another word, but the Honorable Lord Plowshare tries to defend these crimes. I'm ready for your questions, Lord Plowshare. Tell me why you sent your husband to see Griff. I told Rolgan to speak with Griff, to beg him to return the heirlooms he had taken from us, to appeal to Griff's sense of decency. My husband is no killer. He only went back because I sent him there to talk with Griff. You know what? I'm not gonna risk it. I have no more questions for Vanda. Because like, if I talk about this, she's gonna mention how important those those heirlooms are, which gives Rolgan motive to murder Griff. So I have no more questions for Vanda. If it pleases the court, the prosecution rests its case. Can't we just start the execution now? No? Okay, defense may call their witnesses if they wish, though I hardly see the point. I am ready for closing arguments. Oh wow. Oops. I shall move on to my closing arguments. This will be short since the Uthgardt is so obviously guilty. Rolgan owed Griff money. 2 witnesses saw Rolgan kill Griff. What could be more simple? Do your duty, members of the jury. Find Rolgan guilty of murder and let justice be done. Such is the will of Tyr. If it pleases the court, the prosecution rests. Plowshare, you may make your closing arguments now. The prosecution witnesses never saw who started the fight, so we must accept Rolgan's claim of self-defense as truth. Hardly a convincing argument. We know Griff was a violent man who hated the Uthgardt. He probably started the fight himself. Luckily, there are no witnesses to disprove this claim. Griff spiked Rolgan's drink, making Rolgan more prone to act irrationally. Sure, blame the victim. The defense rests its case. Then, as Tyr's representative overseeing this trial, I proclaim judgment in this case. By the light of Tyr's truth, may justice be done. The verdict is clear, a unanimous 5-0 decision to acquit. Rolgan, you are free to go, as are the rest of you. The court thanks you for your time. Iglan, your work here is done. I suggest you leave before I write you up for your loutish behavior during these proceedings. You are a disgrace to the hallowed halls of this temple. Persuasion! Yeah! Persuasion -4. Plowshare, come speak to me when you wish to receive your just reward for your service here. Okay, let's talk to him. You were called upon to do your duty in administering the justice of Tyr's court, Plowshare. The church is grateful you answered the call. Your performance at the trial was truly amazing, Plowshare. A unanimous verdict. Such an overwhelming result will do much to quell any rumblings among the Lord's Alliance soldiers over the outcome of the trial. For your exemplary service, you have earned the undying gratitude of this Temple of Tyr. Please accept this token as a sign of my own appreciation of the spectacular job you have done in the service of Tyr. Now, is there anything else I can do for you, Plowshare? Yeah, I'm gonna shake him down. Your reward seems a little light after all the work I did. Well, I suppose it can be difficult serving Tyr's cause, particularly in light of all the recent events concerning Fentic and now Arabeth. Very well, Plowshare. I have another 100 gold pieces I can spare you. Any more than that, I would have to give you funds marked for the temple's poor box. Sure, I'll be going now. What did he give me? 2,000 gold? He just gave me gold, I guess. Alright, so I am about about a little over 5,000 gold away, 5,000 XP away from leveling up. So, that took shorter than I expected. So, what I'm planning to do, I'm going to talk to everyone involved in the trial before I conclude this stream, because I expected that to take much longer than I thought. And I have to have some things to do before I guess I go to sleep. Edgar!
Well met.
Welcome, Plowshare. I must congratulate you on your performance at Rolgan's trial. You truly served the cause of justice in his acquittal. I know Nurik appreciates all you have done to aid the temple in this matter. Who are you? I am Edgar, a minor acolyte in the service of Tyr. Though I have little in the way of divine powers, I try to make myself useful by performing the day-to-day functions around the temple. If you need the services of a true cleric, you will have to speak to Nurik. So you're a low-level cleric, you're basically Nurik's apprentice. If Nurik were a wizard. Okay, that's a mercenary enclave. Let's talk to these folks. There's Javon.
Well met.
I'm sure glad Rolgan's trial is over. I ain't never been on a jury before. It's almost as hard as being in the prisoner's box. I'm glad the Uthgardt got off. At least now I don't have to walk past his head on a spike every time I go by the Temple of Tyr. I don't know if I could have handled that. Zed.
I greet you.
Hey, thanks for curing that wound in my leg. I still got the occasional ache from my arthritis, but I can handle that. Oh, Plowshare, a unanimous verdict. Hell, you even had me half convinced that Uthgardt was innocent. Okay, so let's go out. I wonder if the old lady will talk to me now because, you know, I saved the dude. Okay, I wonder if Yusam has a reaction. Ask you some questions. I don't think he reacts to that. He said nothing. Let's talk to Dulcia, the ranger. Okay, on behalf of the Blacklight Uthgardt tribe, let me extend my thanks for your efforts on behalf of Rogan and his trial. I was just happy to help. You did much when others of the Lord's Alliance did nothing. For that you are forever a friend of the people of the Black Lion. You are welcome to explain. Yeah, you already told me that. Rolgan, you're free!
It's good to taste the open air once more. Freedom is sweet upon my tongue. I say Uthgardt for the verdict that cleansed the word murderer from my name, and I thank you. You are a true friend of the Uthgardt people. The Red Tiger tribe speaks your name.
Red Tiger? I'm... Black... Oh, interesting. I think that's a relic from the time when I guess the game had way more quests. So he's supposed to be a red tiger like Dalen, and the thing I noticed in this game is that none of the companions actually interact with any of the NPCs in the world, you know, except from fighting them and killing them. So I assumed he would have been a red tiger instead of a black lion. That's very interesting.
Yes, but
the justice of the Lord's Alliance is true justice. My husband's trial is over, and he is no longer accused of his crime. We are together once more. I am grateful to you, Plowshare, for you have returned the sun to my sky. Forever you shall be counted as a friend of the Black Lion tribe of the Uthgardt people. Alright, old lady, let's talk to you. Rolgan, oh, okay, she doesn't say anything. Yeah. Rolgan owes you his life, Plowshare the sorcerer. You have earned much honor in defending him. We children of the Black Lion thank you for what you have done. Endar.
I, Under Hardfoot, greet you. Your name is well known among us. For it was you who stood forth to defend Rolgan and his trial. You bring honor to yourself and your ancestors.
Yep. I'll be going now. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go to the bar next. Where's the bar? Drinking house is on the other side of this camp. Drinking house. There it is. Let's talk to Averick.
I greet you.
Well, look at this. If it isn't the smooth talking lawyer, if I ever murder someone, I'm going to get you to represent me. Rogan was no murderer, he was only defending himself. That's the same song you were singing at the trial. I'm getting a little bored with it. Anyway, I didn't come here to this bar to talk about the trial. I'm just looking for some female companionship, so shove off, buddy. These open sores on my face make it tough enough to attract the ladies without your ugly mug hanging around and cramping my style. I'll be going. Bye, don't hurry back. And finally, Lodar.
Well met.
I heard the trial over at Tyr's Temple ended with an acquittal. It's pretty hard to argue with such an overwhelming verdict, though a few mercenaries are complaining. But like Neric said, the trial is done and justice was served. Okay, so why are you Commoner Dill and Commoner Alikos? Why do you have names?
It is a pleasure to speak
I
with
wonder
you.
if those are like, I don't know if those are Easter eggs or something. Anyway, we've talked to everyone. So when I get back to the game tomorrow, I'm not sure which quest to do. So Coldwood. I guess I'm going to the Coldwood. I'm going to retrieve the snow globe, and we're going to go inside it and retrieve the first word of power. Anyway, let's save the game. And that'll be it for tonight. So, I guess I'm getting the hang of this now. I've pretty much gotten used to using my Blue Yeti mic instead of my built-in headset mic. And I guess I'm used now to talking without having an actual human with me in the room. Previously, I had a lot of problems talking when there was no one here. I should probably figure out a way to set up my webcam one of these days. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll be back tomorrow around 9 o'clock. This has been Dale Keter, and thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.